There we go. All right, perfect. Well, thank you again for joining us on a beautiful Wednesday morning. I understand that we're all probably in different time zones, so thanks for making accommodations, whether it's later for you or earlier for some. We just wanted to hold this time real quick. As the great umbrella of Farm Credit at Leaders Conference, we just want to hold this time to do a quick round of introductions, especially for American Ag Credit folks. They expressed interest, and on the call we have Seth Hilgert and Brandon Souza. Just expressed interest to operate under that Farm Credit umbrella while at Leaders Conference to avoid confusion, as you can imagine, with students and all the delegates that will be joining us at Leaders Conference. So just want to hold this, and maybe if everyone can share their name, which branch they're from, and then maybe where they're located. And then from there, we'll discuss what we've done historically. And I might pass it to Chelsea, how we've handled it historically. And then we'll go into kind of how American Ag Credit wants to engage. So I guess in the interest of time, maybe I'll start on the left-hand side of my screen. I'm Mercedes McHugh, by the way. I'm a development manager for Ag Future America. So you get my emails a lot. Thanks for bearing with us as we get ready for Leaders Conference. Madison, do you mind kicking us off?
Sorry, I'm not used to Teams. My name is Madison. I go by Maddie. The talent acquisition.
We're having a hard time hearing you, Madison. Sorry, can you speak a little louder?
You're here. Sorry, I don't use Teams.
You're good. You're good.
Seth, you can introduce me.
All right, I can jump in. Can everyone hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Seth Hilgert, Director of Talent Acquisition for American Ag Credit. Obviously, our headquarters is in Northern California, but I am actually based in a suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I'm excited to meet with everybody. And this is kind of our first journey into AFA. So we're kind of learning as we go a little bit here, but really excited to be a part of it. And don't be surprised if we ask a lot of questions. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah, and Seth, do you want to introduce Madison real quick?
Yes, so Madison Moore is our talent acquisition programs partner. So she kind of has a bit of a role of looking for, sorry, I just had that pop up there. That kind of threw me off. Coordinator role, so helping coordinate background checks, I-9, scheduling interviews, but then heavily integrated into our internship program too as well, and kind of coordinating that program for us too.
Thanks, Seth. I'll keep the American Ag Credit umbrella going. Brandon, you want to kick us off or to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning from the West Coast. I'm Brandon Souza. I lead our marketing team here at American Ag Credits. Just celebrated my year anniversary with the association, and I live in Sacramento, California, but manage a team that's kind of spread out all over in the post-pandemic remote working world. So it's a pleasure to be on, and we look forward to work with everybody.
Thanks, Brandon. The next person in my screen is Melissa. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Melissa Becker. I am relatively new here, so bear with me. I'm on day 8 with the company, so in talent acquisition and based out of the Omaha office here at Farm Credit.
Thanks, Melissa. Ashley Lovell.
Hi, everybody. Hi to see some of you again. Good to see you. My name is Ashley Lovell. I lead our HR Shared Services team here at Farm Credit Services of America. So both Melissa and Lee are on our talent acquisition team here. We have been a part of AFA for a few years now, and I personally was there last year with some of this team. So certainly excited to be back and see what this year holds.
Thanks, Ashley. Now to the other Ashley, after Searles.
Hi, Ashley Searles. I'm with Farm Credit Mid-America. We're based in Lovell, Kentucky. I'm actually out of Tennessee, and I've been at AFA 14 years out of 16 of my life at Farm Credit, so a little bit of a pro. And I also am the point person for the Talent Acquisition Group Committee for the Farm Credit Council.
Thanks, Ashley. And also apologies, I think I've been butchering everyone's last name, so I will learn that by the time Leaders Conference rolls around. Kate, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kate Lambert. I do sit on the AFA Board of Directors on behalf of the Farm Credit System. So it's my pleasure to have that opportunity to get to represent all of you and your teams in the boardroom there, and also serve as the Marketplace VP of Marketplace Engagement at FCS Financial, Farm Credit Cooperative here in the state of Missouri that covers a majority of the state.
Thanks, Kate. Leah. Ooh. I know we've introduced each other before, but I can't remember.
I'm Lee Bell, and Ashley did kind of introduce me and Melissa both. We're talent acquisition specialists with Farm Credit Services of America in Omaha, and we're on day 8. So very excited to join the call and find out what this is all about. So
Thanks, Lee. Brittany.
Yeah, hi everyone. Brittany Jablonski. I'm with the Farm Credit Council. So for those of you who are newer to the Farm Credit System, we are the trade association that represents the Farm Credit System sort of here in Washington, D.C., but then also nationally. And so we have some national sponsorships and partnerships. And so we provide a national sponsorship to AFA, but really lean heavily on all of you talent acquisition experts to actually implement our sponsorship, because that's certainly not my expertise, and I know all of you are always seeking new candidates, and so thanks for your willingness to be a part of this, and we can kind of serve in a coordinating role. And my colleague Mary Carlson, who's actually out this week, she's going to help with that as well. But yeah, we'll leave the actual recruiting to you all.
Thanks, Brittany. And yes, Mary, so before I kick it over to Madison and Micah, actually I'll pause there and then I'll get into the registration process. But Madison, you want to introduce yourself? I know it's early there. Or Micah. Micah, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. I'm Micah Mense. I'm Customer Education Manager for Farm Credit Mid-America. Currently sit in Columbus, Ohio, but have supported the AFA relationship alongside of Ashley and the rest of this group here for a couple of years now. And previous to Farm Credit, was involved at AFA as a student. So excited to be here, and thanks for the call, Mercedes.
Yeah, thank you, Micah. Actually, maybe I shouldn't share this, but he just married one of my former student advisory team members from AFA. So it's a small world. So excited. So congratulations, Micah. Awesome. Perfect. I know Chelsea's on the road. She's the other individual that's in the call. And I'll kick it over here to her soon. But let's walk through the preliminary itinerary that we have for Farm Credit. To my folks from American Ag Credit, this looks a lot similar to the preliminary itinerary I sent before. It'll have a lot of the similar sessions. There we go. Go and share my screen real quick. Whoops. There we go. All right, so here is the level 4, which is our Farm Credit folks. The differences that you'll see in American Ag Credit is that it's with a board of directors, which is Kate Lambert. So you'll see some folks or some sessions specific to Kate, but we'll just walk through here real quick. Just I know some of you have already seen this and probably have joined us for our webinar, but these are just the engagement opportunities. And since there's so many of our Farm Credit folks, it'll say in our sessions like, oh, we'll be inviting one team member or 2 team members. We'll work with you because we definitely want to make sure there's representation from our branches, and so we'll have some flexibility around that. But pre-conference, would love some swag items. This just delivered to our office right here from October 1st to 31st. 925 items. That's about how many delegates that we're planning on. And then we just ask that those swag items are no larger or heavier than a standard water bottle. Thursday, November 10th. So we have our conference check-in, and then we have the welcome reception and dinner with track 4 from 4 to 7. This is just a dinner with our track 4 senior, which are our seniors and our delegates. We'd love for some folks to be engaged that have not been engaged in AFA before, just to get a taste of AFA and sit down with our seniors. Then we have the Afa Alumni Social. So for those of you or those of your team that are part of the Afa Alumni, I'd love for them to join us for the social from 6 to 8. And then we have Kate go into our AFA Board of Directors welcome reception, as well as the working dinner that Thursday evening. And there's an opportunity to set up the Opportunity Fair booth Thursday evening and Friday morning. We give Farm Credit a mega booth. So that'll be something that we might have to coordinate there, because I know American Ag Credit, if I remember correctly, you'll want to operate with Farm Credit in the Opportunity Fair. Then we have, and we can divide and conquer here, we have mocktails reception, which is for juniors and seniors, and then Ice Cream Connect, which is with freshmen and sophomores. Sorry, there's a misprint there, from 8:30 to 9:30. And then Friday, Kate's going to the Ag Business Council of Kansas City breakfast, as well as the Board of Directors social and meeting. And then here's where we have some of our programmatic engagements, and we'll definitely work with you. That way we have some representation from Farm Credit. So one of those is Solutions You Care About Roundtable. And then there's another one down there, but I'll get to that. Opportunity Fair. So this will be a great opportunity to coordinate of who wants to be at the Farm Credit mega booth.
Hey, Mercedes, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just want to chime in really quickly. For those newer to the relationship and newer Farm Credit, just want to talk a little bit more about the mocktails and the Ice Cream Connect on Thursday evening. This is a really fun opportunity to connect with the delegates before the conference really kicks off that next day on Friday. So first, that's your first time to engage with students, and that's also when the students are coming to Kansas City. So it's everybody's first day. A lot of experience. Conversation having at this mocktails experience and this Ice Cream Connect. And Mercedes touched on the audiences that you'll be engaging with, but just as a refresher, mocktails is more focused on those upperclassmen, so those juniors and seniors. And it's a mocktail setting, so it is a cocktail reception essentially with mocktails. There's no alcohol there, but it's really an amazing learning experience for these students. They can learn how to, have a really productive conversation with you all while maybe holding an hors d'oeuvre or a mocktail in one hand and a business card in the other. And it's a really great scenario for them to learn how to get themselves into a conversation and, also get themselves out of a conversation and move on and meet new people. And so it's really an amazing learning experience. Would love to engage, I would say, 5 to 7 of your team members here. But then for the Ice Cream Connect, that's with our freshmen and sophomores, and that's just a different environment overall. Ice cream will be involved. It's a great way to give us all a little bit of sugar that late at night. But this is also another great way for you all to start connecting with those freshmen and sophomores and maybe inviting them to stop by the Farm Credit mega booth, as Mercedes said, that next day at the Opportunity Fair. So just wanted to level set a little bit more for you all of that's the type of experience. It's very, social networking, positive, and a great way to connect with those students before the next day.
Thanks, Chelsea. And definitely start those relationships early, especially with those freshmen and sophomores, so then you can foster and steward that relationship as they grow in their AFA career as well as their collegiate career. And for the Ice Cream Connect, would love to probably anywhere between 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 folks there also. And then we have the Solutions You Care About 9:15 to 10:30 on Friday. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea, this is where we would want someone who's kind of an internal decision maker, right? Someone that's within the organization and maybe one to 2 people.
I'm sorry, can you repeat what the session was?
The Solutions You Care About Friday morning.
Yep. So Solutions You Care About. This is a roundtable conversation for, I would say, 2 to 3 of your team members. So usually this is extended to just one spot per partner company. Since you all are coming together, let's give you about 2 to 3 if it makes sense. And of course, we can go down and go up based on interest. But essentially what this is, it's a roundtable discussion, and we are looking for more of those, operational day-to-day employees, although it doesn't, certainly don't have to limit it to that. Those who are able to problem solve, those who are really good within your companies at problem solving, or maybe in positions of problem solving. Topics are going to be released about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of Leaders Conference. So we'll give you a heads up of the dialogue concept, if you will, with the students. But essentially, your team members will be sitting at tables with other students, about 1 to 2 team members per table. So you'll be in a round table with 8 other students, just facilitating how Farm Credit would attempt to problem solve this solution, or SBA Financial, for example. So yeah, that's pretty much the premise of it.
Thank you, Chelsea. And then we have from 12 to 1:30 the AFA Board of Directors luncheon, and this will be Kate Lambert, but also the team member who's participating in the executive forum, which is down here from 2:30 to 5:15. And there's a session description for these programmatic engagements, but I'm going to kick it over to Chelsea again to add some color of kind of who we're looking for the executive forum.
For sure. So for here, I would say about 2 to 3 team members from your all branches who would love to participate in this. And the type of team member we're looking for is someone who holds a leadership role. So executive, that's a very broad term. It can mean something very different for other individuals. The whole premise of this conversation is it's also a roundtable discussion, so a very intimate conversation with 8 other students, but it's all around stewarding change. So when we say leader, we're not so focused on titles, although we would love to see director, executive, VP, something like that, but an individual who is managing change or looking at change internally, because that's what the whole conversation is going to be around, is facilitating that change and change management, what it could look like for teams, and et cetera. So looking for about 2 to 3 individuals here, but of course could work with you all if you have 5 leaders, for example, who are interested and maybe want to learn a little bit more about AFA. We can totally get them engaged. And also really quickly, just wanted to say this phone call is bringing my heart so much joy. It is so fun. I wish I was seeing you all. I'm so sorry I'm on the road right now, but it's so nice to hear you all. I have many different relationships with individuals on this call, but it's really cool to see the Farm Credit family, if you will, come together. We have alumni on this call. We have board members on this call. We have pros on this call, as Ashley mentioned earlier, which made me giggle a little bit. I love it. She is absolutely an AFA pro, as you all will be soon. So just very thankful for the partnership with each of you, and so excited to engage you all at Leaders Conference in November in that unified, Farm Credit way, if you will. Like Mercedes said earlier, you guys are going to have such an amazing presence with the students coming together, and I think it's going to be a really cool experience.
Thanks, Charles. Perfect. So we have that executive forum, and then from 3 to 4:15, transition to work roundtable. This is a session where it's another roundtable discussion, so it will be more of an intimate conversation. Oh, I need to add something here quick. Maybe if you'll let me. Anyway, so the transition to work, we're looking for someone who maybe is in the HR role, someone who has walked people through the transition from college to work, or even from career to career, and what that might look like. Also, it could be some folks that may have actually lived it recently and are super passionate about that transition to work. So if there's some team members that you'd like engaged in that or really passionate about the transition to work, we'll definitely work with you to get them engaged as well. From 3 to 6 p.m., we have the Industry and Collegiate Professional Social. This is our B2B, business to business. So just a wonderful time to bump elbows with your colleagues and coworkers and make some connections across the professional industry. And then we have our Bridge Builder celebration, where we're lifting up and celebrating some movers and shakers within our AFA alumni group. And we'll have a reception and then dinner. It says we have 10 tickets for reception. We'll definitely work with you, because you'll have probably a pretty decent sized team. at Leaders Conference. So we'll definitely accommodate who you'd like engaged at the Bridge Builder celebration. Also, we welcome any and all AFA Alumni nominations. If you have someone in mind, please nominate before, I think, the end of the first week. Saturday morning, this is where we have our partner breakfast, and we wanted to ask so historically we've had one big Farm Credit partner breakfast where we have a good group of students engage with our Farm Credit folks. To our American Ag Credit folks, did you want to be looped into that partner breakfast, or did you want a separate partner breakfast?
So I'm understanding when you say loop in, can you just give me a little bit more details on it?
Yep.
Since it's our first time.
Yeah. So looping in, basically just having a bigger partner breakfast. So we have folks from each of our different branches from Farm Credit have one partner breakfast with an intimate group of students, just for a space to share more about Farm Credit and their specific goals. Maybe engage in a game or activity that gets the students up and going, because it's 7 to 7:45 a.m. And then also relay information about open opportunities at their Farm Credits. So then if you're looped in, then you'll be included in that larger partner breakfast, but happy to.
I think we want to be looped in, part of the larger, and collaborate together with our partners there and our peers. Yeah.
Just for information, Micah usually, like the last couple of years, Micah's brought some new life to that partner breakfast. I know he does like a Kahoot kind of contest, and he talks about the Farm Credit, just the Farm Credit overall, like who we are and what we're about. And a lot of the people that are invited to the breakfast have some type of connection with us. They're usually a Farm Credit intern in the past, or they know somebody who works for Farm Credit, or they're people that we've sponsored to come, and so they're very gracious. We usually do some giveaways. I know Brittany graciously gave us like umbrellas and different things to give away last year, so it's a very interactive kind of partner breakfast.
Thank you for that context, Ashley. And woohoo to Micah to making it an awesome partner breakfast. That's quite the task from 7 to 7:45 on a Saturday. So, all right. So I will stop sharing my screen. Yes, please.
One more point about the partner breakfast. And this is really American Ag Credit. Just want to loop you into kind of the process behind it. So in October, I want to say it's like October 11th, we are actually going to be sending Mary. So Mary is going to register on behalf of everyone here, register you all for Leaders Conference. We are going to send Mary, and we'll loop you into this email as well, what we call a partner assessment. And what that is it's a 5-minute survey, essentially, where we're going to ask you all, what type of students do you want to have come to your partner breakfast? So American Ag Credit would love your perspective on the type of student that you would love to connect with. And really, this is from that HR lens. From you think of the value proposition at AFA, we want to make sure that we're connecting you with that top talent, as well as getting your brand out there. For this partner breakfast, this is a great way to connect with that top talent. So the survey will ask questions like, these are the different majors represented. Who would you like to be connected with? Here are the different universities. Here are the different class statuses. We'd love for you to paint a picture for us of the type of student you'd like to be engaged. And then we, Mercedes, myself, and Tracy Vi, she's our VP of development. She wasn't able to make the call. We sit down and do some matchmaking on our end. So we ask you what type of student you'd like to connect with. And then on the student-facing side, we also ask them, what type of industry company would you like to attend their partner breakfast? And we kind of rank order for us their top 5 choices. And we do that because we want to make sure the students that are coming to your partner breakfast, they want to be there. We want to make sure that that conversation is as productive as possible. And so we don't want to have a student go to your partner breakfast that doesn't necessarily envision themselves there in the future. So we do some matchmaking based on the student's perspective and then also your perspective. do some matchmaking, and then we send you that final list of who's coming to your partner breakfast 2 weeks before Leaders Conference. And we're going to provide you more information about those students. So their university, their major. We also provide you their email address. And we do that strategically. We want you to start the conversation if you all are able to. Feel free to send them an email ahead of Leaders Conference, maybe starting the conversation, introducing who from your team will be there. Feel free to outline the agenda if you'd like, but really start that conversation so you can facilitate it, continue it at Leaders Conference, but then also continue it after Leaders Conference. Something else we're going to provide you 2 weeks out is we also ask the student, okay, you're going to this partner breakfast. What do you want to learn? What do you want to learn from this company? Is it internship opportunities? Is it what they're doing in their local communities? Is it their strategic plan, et cetera? So we ask them those questions and they provide that feedback. We're also going to send you that information 2 weeks ahead of time to kind of help build that agenda for you. So if you are curious of, how do I want to utilize this 45 minutes with the students, their voice is going to be present. So maybe you can start answering those questions ahead of time or wait to answer them during your time together. So just wanted to paint just a bigger, broader picture of the intent behind this partner breakfast. And all the information we're going to send you so we can make it a super productive time with the students.
Awesome. Thank you, Chelsea. That's why I need Chelsea on the call. I'm an AFA alumni, but I just started my job back in February. So this is my first AFA Leaders Conference on staff. So excited to go through it. But perfect. So any questions? I know we're at time. I'll send out this recording, and I know Mary will receive the registration link for Farm Credit, all the different branches of September 1, and you have a whole month to coordinate kind of who from each branch, and we'll definitely work with you of how many folks will be at each session and so on and so forth. But any questions before we bow out?
I do have
Mercedes,
sorry.
Sorry, go for it, Madison. I heard you talk
Okay,
first.
yeah, no worries. I was just curious if you'll send out like that agenda along with this recording.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
And I think Seth just looped you in one of the emails last week, so I'll forward you what I've sent to, and we'll forward what we sent to the mega farm credit for all the other branches. Micah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to say for American Ag Credit, one of the things that we've done that's been successful so far is just to help with the coordination of signing up for those sessions. We actually have a specific link. And so later today, I'll follow up with you all that has those sessions broken out in the ask from AFA to Farm Credit that will allow you to just sign up what you're interested in and share your availability. And then on the back end, what I'll do is I'll kind of consolidate all that and work with Mary to get you all registered and squared away. And then as they talked about the communication to students, we want you all to engage in that conversation, but I don't know that we necessarily, each association should be sending emails to the students. And so what we've done historically is as a group kind of decided on what the best strategy was for engaging the students ahead of the event as well as after the event, and just sent it from Farm Credit Council. So it was that unified voice for the students, just to not get them confused why so many different associations was reaching out. So with all that being said, I'll follow up with an email with you all, and I'm excited to work with you here moving forward. But some sign up opportunities as far as where you could fill in the gaps that we have. And then, feel free to reach out to myself, Mary, or anybody else on the call if you have questions about specific offerings that we're going to do this year.
And Micah, we might need to add some slots. I know, like the career fairs things. I know in the past we've not filled all of our slots, so I think some people have been very generous about signing up for stuff to make sure we had people there. So Micah, we might need to add some slots for people on this call that maybe didn't have the opportunity to sign up for different things. Because I know we can have more than, like, if it says 3 ice cream socials, I know they don't care that we have extra people. So we may want to add some slots so that people on this team that want to go get an opportunity to really interact in the different various places and locations.
Absolutely. Yes. We'll make those adjustments before we send that out. Thanks, Ashley.
Brandon, did you have a question? Oh, sorry, I thought you raised your hand. Awesome. Anything else? Ooh, well, thank you. We are so excited to have everyone at Leaders Conference in Kansas City in November. We will, please let us know if there's anything that we can do to help make your life easier. I've coordinated that and getting everything. Micah, as a follow-up for me, I will reply to the preliminary itinerary that I sent out to all the Farm Credit branches and include our American Ag folks in that so that we have everyone on one email chain. And then, yeah, I'll hand the baton over. Happy Wednesday. Have a
Thank
good rest of
everyone.
everyone's day.